People love talking about intelligence as if it is only logic analysis, pattern recognition, and the ability to create big ideas. But there is one part almost no one talks about: emotion. The emotional cost of having a brain that always runs faster than the context around it. Because living inside a high IQ mind is not only about thinking differently, it is also about feeling differently, more quietly, more complicatedly, and often much lonelier than it appears on the outside. Today, we are going straight into that part. 10 things many high IQ people feel very clearly carry for a long time but almost never know how to put into words. The first thing is the feeling of already knowing how this conversation will end. Not because they are arrogant, not because they think they are always right, but because their mind has almost finished running the simulation before the other person has even finished speaking. They can see where the counter-argument is coming from. They can see the misunderstanding forming by the third sentence. They can see the structure of an argument before most people even realize where it is heading. Descriptions in psychology about predictive processing point in a similar direction. Some brains are constantly building probability models of the world around them. That sounds powerful, but what is the cost? It means you rarely get to be truly surprised. Even disappointment arrives a few steps earlier than it does for everyone else. The second feeling is a kind of restlessness that is very hard to name. It is not ordinary boredom. It is not simply having nothing to do. It is a long-lasting intellectual hunger. The world around them may still be crowded, busy, full of conversations, and full of things to do, but inside, there is still a feeling that nothing is deep enough for them to truly step into. Studies on the flow state often suggest that people need a level of challenge that matches their ability in order to become fully immersed. For many high IQ people, that threshold is much higher than it is for others. That is why everyday life rarely makes them feel satisfied. If you have ever felt that you seem fine on the outside, but inside, you are always waiting for something better to think about, subscribe to the channel and keep watching, because the next parts will explain very clearly why that feeling is not unreasonable at all. The third feeling is the quiet pain of watching your idea go around the room and return through someone else's mouth, only this time everyone supports it. The pain here is not only about losing recognition, it is also the feeling of being erased from the very moment you helped create. In group settings, credit does not always flow toward the depth of an idea. It often flows toward social presence. And people who speak in layered ways, who speak slowly with conditions, context, and caution, are often not the ones who win that game. So what they take home is not exactly anger. It is more like a sadness that is hard to name, as if they were there but did not fully exist in other people's eyes. The fourth feeling is not knowing what they want in a simple way. Other people may only need a stable job, but for this kind of mind, stable alone is not enough. It has to be meaningful. It has to use their abilities fully. It must not make them feel like they are shrinking themselves. Love is the same. It is not just about having someone beside them. It has to be a kind of connection that does not force them to live as a more digestible version of themselves. The problem is that the world loves desires that are clear, neat, and easy to name, but they analyze even their own desires in many layers. The need for cognition, the need to think deeply, can turn even a small decision into a large problem. From the outside, people may think they are complicated, but in truth, they simply cannot pretend that the important choices in their life are simple. The fifth feeling is a kind of loneliness that does not show up on paper. It is not loneliness because there is no one around. Many high IQ people still have friends, colleagues, family members, and even many social interactions. But the problem is that the version of themselves that appears in most of those interactions is not the full version. It is an edited version, a version with fewer side paths, less depth, fewer long associations, and fewer sentences like, "But wait, there is another possibility." Research on the gap between the true self and the self presented to the outside world suggests that the larger this gap becomes, the higher chronic loneliness can be. If you have ever been surrounded by people and still felt that no one truly touched the deepest part of you, comment the number 8 below, because maybe what you are carrying is not just ordinary loneliness. It is the feeling of having edited yourself for too long. The sixth feeling is knowing the right answer, but choosing not to say it. It may sound simple, but this is one of the most painful patterns. Many highly intelligent people have learned through experience that being right does not always make you liked. Being right does not always make you welcome. Being right too early, too directly, or in a room that is not ready to listen can sometimes make you the one who gets pushed out, so they begin to stay quiet. They see the group moving toward a choice that is weaker, slower, or more mistaken, but they still nod and let it pass. Beneath that calmness is a very real sense of loss. Not only grief for the idea, but grief for the part of themselves that once believed speaking the truth was enough. Over time, many high IQ people learn to hold back what they see, and that can exhaust them even more than arguing. The seventh feeling is almost a daily paradox. They are often both the most confident person and the most self-doubting person in the same room. In their field, they may be very capable, very certain, very fast. But because they can also see more variables, more ways things could go wrong, and more hidden gaps, they rarely get to enjoy the simple certainty that people with less understanding often have. Bertrand Russell once pointed out a beautiful paradox. People who understand less are often the most certain, while people who know more tend to feel the weight of doubt. That is why many people look at an intelligent person and think they are very solid, while inside that person is still running countless checks to see whether they have missed something. They are not weak. They simply see complexity too clearly. The eighth feeling hurts the most in relationships. It is when you know exactly what the other person needs to hear, what pattern they are trapped in, and where they are heading, but you feel powerless because they are not ready to listen. Emotional foresight can be a gift, but it can also be a burden. You can see where this relationship will crack. You can see what consequences that decision will create. You can feel what the other person is avoiding. But being able to feel it does not mean you can save it. And that kind of helplessness is rarely talked about. From the outside, it may look like you are just being quiet, but inside you are having to sit still and watch something you already saw coming slowly unfold. Many intelligent people are not tired because they do not understand others. They are tired because they understand too clearly but cannot force someone else's moment of growth to arrive sooner. The ninth feeling is very hard to explain in everyday language. Sometimes they have thought so deeply, seen so many layers, and asked so many existential questions that when they return to ordinary life, things no longer hold the same thickness of meaning as before. It is not being disconnected from reality. It is losing the innocent feeling that everything naturally has meaning on its own. Existential psychology has also discussed how when a person becomes deeply involved in creating meaning, what is called naive realism can begin to wear away. The world is still there. Joy is still there. But in order to feel it fully, they sometimes have to rebuild it through conscious effort. If you have ever felt that life suddenly became a little thin, a little distant, almost like a stage where you can see too clearly behind the scenes, comment the number 9 below, because that feeling is quiet but very real. And the 10th feeling lies beneath all the others. It is the feeling that no one has truly met your whole self. Others may know you as the capable one, the calm one, the deep thinker, the one with answers. But those are still only pieces. Your whole self only appears in a few rare conversations very late at night, in moments when the editing filter becomes a little weaker. And even when that happens, most people quickly return to the familiar way they see you. They are only comfortable with the outline version of you, not the full version. So the deepest pain is often not being unadmired. It is not being truly met. No one steps close enough into the center. If some of these things feel uncomfortably accurate, then maybe you have not been imagining your difference. Maybe you are simply living inside a structure of mind that the world does not always know how to receive. These feelings are not just a few random personality traits. They are the very real emotional side of a special kind of intelligence. And sometimes just knowing that someone has named that inner territory correctly can make the loneliness feel a little lighter. Thank you for watching until the end. If this video made you feel more understood, please like and subscribe to the channel, and send it to someone you know who always has to hide a very large part of who they truly are.